Parinama, Tapa and Sanskara. 3 types of misery. Parinama Dukkha is the memory of the pleasures, of the glories that you have had, make you depressed and unhappy now. You have had a position and your position is gone. No position is permanent. Sometime or other you have to get out of your position. Now Mugabe occupied a position. He was 92. And a journalist asked him, when are you going to return? When are you going to give it to somebody else? He said, I am still alive. He slapped him. You have become so old, yet you don't want to let go of your position. You know, people go on rent in some houses, and when they have to leave the house, they don't leave the house in a nice condition at all. They just ransack the house. They leave it in very bad condition. Why? The pain of leaving the house. I had to leave. Someone is asked to quit their office. That is it. That is a pain in getting out of a position. It is so subtle and subconscious mind. Then you don't realize and you don't behave normal. Even though you think you are normal, others notice that you are not normal. Once I met with ex-president of some country. He just retired a couple of days back. And then he really invited me. He had been inviting me to to bless his home. I said, okay. And then he asked his waiter at home to bring tea, or milk or juice, something for everybody. Obviously, there is a little delay for the server to go and make all that arrangement. And this president took it so personally. He said, Gurudev, look, when I was president, he would bring me immediately. Now see, he's taking time. Even my server, my waiter don't respect me. This is all in our own mind. So nobody cares for me now. Which is not true. I just smile and told, look, it's all in your own mind. We think people don't respect us if we don't have a position. Your respect should be in your character, in your ability, in your behavior, not by position. How will someone not respect you just in 2-3 days of you getting out of your position? That means you have not projected yourself of who you are. So our identity for some joy, some pleasure, some position, some status makes us miserable. So this is parinama. Impact of happiness, remembrance, oh, I had such a nice time, so you become miserable now. You had pleasure, but the impact of it is what? Because it is gone. All ex-husbands, ex-wives, ex-presidents, ex-prime ministers, this ex makes you really miserable. Remembering that, oh, I had such a nice time with that guy. Now he is gone, he's married with somebody else now. Something happens in the stomach. You feel like throwing up. This is Parinama Dukkha. And you become old. You can't play cricket as you used to play. That makes you sad. You couldn't go to gym like you used to do. Your body is not allowing that to happen. This is Parinama Dukkha. Tapa Dukkha is at the current situation. You are boiling with anger, hatred, jealousy. All this is Tapa Dukkha. At the current moment you are miserable. Or you have a physical ailment, it makes you miserable at the current moment. You have a fight with someone close to you, it makes you miserable now. These are Tapa Dukkha. And then Sanskara Dukkha is, misery has gone, but the memory of the misery, the seeds are still there. You ask someone, why are you crying? Says, no, I am not crying, my face is like that. This is Sanskara Dukkha. You made a habit of complaining, and even though there is nothing to complain, you made a habit of being miserable, being upset, being sad. And that habit of crying, sometimes you find even in kids this. For no reason they cry. Mom and dad pamper them, the more pamper they simply cry. This is Sanskara Dukkha. So you made a habit of being sad, being miserable, Even the masochism is also part of this. You find a little joy in being sad. You enjoy being sad because that what you have experienced from childhood, when you cried, you got all attention. When you were sad, you got attention. That attention made you feel better. So somewhere in subconscious mind, you think if you are miserable, only then you will get attention. And they remain like that. Tell me, who would like to sit with someone who is miserable all the time? Who has a long face, who wants attention for no apparent reason? They are not worthy of compassion even. Because this is Sanskara Dukkha. This is the impression of misery that you are holding on to. Nobody can relieve you out until you yourself come out of it. Keeping a long face all the time, finding some or other excuse to be unhappy is stupidity. And that is Sanskara Dukkha. An intelligent person looks at this world, he says, yeah, when pleasant moments are over, they leave an impression. That impression causes misery. Unpleasant events happen, they go away, but they cause impressions, and those impressions again causes misery. So whether pleasant or unpleasant even, whether you are in a high post or you are rich or poor, all those sanskaras, when they are on your consciousness, they only cause misery. Just imagine you are the richest person. How long can you say the richest on the top list of richest person in the world? Or every 6 months or every year, there is a revision of list. You find someone else is more competent and in competition with you, and they have become much richer than you. The man who was number 1 in the list came down to 10 in just 2 years' time. And then 30 in another 3 years' time. 5 years later, he is not even in the list. And this is causing misery. Same with fame. You get one talent, and little later another talent will come. And if you are hanging on to this fame, money, position, company, relationship, they can all cause you misery. This doesn't mean you should not have them. You just know this. An intelligent person recognizes these are all cause of misery. Sarvamevam dukkam vivekina. Being a manager is a role. And you think you are the manager, that's a cause of misery. You played a role of a manager, and that role may disappear anytime. When you identify yourself with that, that is misery. You identify yourself with your qualification. Oh, I am tech guy, I am MBA, I am this, I am that, I am doctor, I am MD. My dear, MD is only a role. That is not you. This identification, even with your goodness, I am very good. Many people become miserable thinking they are very good. When you think you are very good, you find others are not good. So when others are not good, you are very good. This is the formula for anger and hatred to spring up. Self-pity is the worst thing. People who pity themselves are ready to hate others. They have prepared themselves to hate others. You think, oh, I'm so good, I'm so dedicated, I'm so efficient, I'm so this and that, and others are not so. Now you have begun the journey towards misery. Nobody is the cause of your misery. Your own identification is the cause of your misery. There is a beautiful proverb in Sanskrit, Kashtasya sukasya nakopi data. There is no giver of misery or happiness. It is your own making. So self-pity should be done with. And you think you are so good, then you fail to recognize your shortcomings. When you fail to see your shortcomings, there is no way for your growth. You are shut. There is a shutdown in your evolution, I tell you. That gives rise to arrogance. and you become incommunicable. The self-righteous people are very hard to communicate. They're not ready to see. And they don't even accept that they're not ready to see. They don't even accept that they are incommunicable. The purpose of yoga, the purpose of spirituality is to stop the misery which is about to come before they come.